The Alastair Ross Technology Centre is a 120,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility dedicated to the support of technology companies and the high-tech sector. Dave McKillop is the manager of the centre, located in the University of Calgary's Innovation Park.
Our first initiative a number of years ago was xeriscaping the front of the building. And that was the first commercial xeriscape in the province. So that sort of got us into the how do we take a look at things environmental, and it started to put into our planning process and our building process, I'll call it an environmental filter. So when we take a look at things environmental, we take a look at a project, we say how can we mitigate our impact on the environment.
The Xeriscape project was undertaken for its financial merits.
I did an input-output diagram and discovered we were spending more money on water outside the building than we were inside. And we have lots of washrooms and showers and stuff of that nature. So if you want green grass in Calgary, you have to water it and fertilize it and maintain it. So we xeriscaped the front of the building. And essentially, we took the grass out and we donated to a whole variety of folks who wanted grass for their backyards and xeriscaped it. And other than the flowers at the front, we don't irrigate it, we don't water it, we don't cut it, we don't fertilize it. And so we've created a fairly nice natural scape down there. And so that started the dialogue on what else can we do with the building.
The feasibility of retrofitting a green roof was explored next.
And one other element that we have with the green roof, and we specifically placed it on the +15 between the two buildings so that you could actually see it. One of the challenges in promoting green roofs is that if it's up on top of the building, you may wind up going up a 45-degree metal staircase to get at it.
This is not the case here. A wide staircase leads you to the +15, where you can overlook both the east and west green roofs.
Now, before we started building the green roof, and we were basically working from brochures, I was meeting with one of the tenants, and we just finished negotiating his somewhat dramatic rise in rent, and he asked me about the green roof. And for some reason, I got onto the topic of creating attractive space, creating things that are aesthetically pleasing. And he said, that's fine, I'm in for $2,500. And I said, thank you, tell me why. The green roof is located on the +15 between the two buildings, and his staff, they eat lunch up there, they'll have lunch, and they'd remarked that, when you looked out the window, it was a very attractive vista, except for the first 25 feet of really ugly roof. So there is some value, some economic value in creating things that have beauty. Many meetings are quite informal. Two people getting together, having a conversation, perhaps doing business. So the space right adjacent to the green roof works very well for them. Someone can get a cup of coffee, go up there and discuss business, or just take a break.
The rooftops were planted in August 2006 with native plugs, including species such as wild alpine strawberry, yellow penstemon, Indian blanket flower, mountain goldenrod, chinook, blue-eyed grass, and mountain Jacob's ladder. Local nurseries specializing in natives supplied the original plant material. Infill plants such as sedums were added the following year. Plots at different depths and of different compositions allow the wide variety of plants over time to find a microclimate and soil medium that suits them. Carrie Ross is a green roof consultant and one of the core team members of the Ecoroof Initiative.
Palette consisted of 2,700 plug plants of mostly native plant species, so plants that grow in Morley Flats and on Nose Hill was the initial plant species selection. And then for faster coverage, a mix of native grasses, grass seed was broadcast, which filled in very quickly and in some cases outcompeted some of the flowering forbs that we wanted. But it's a changing landscape. This is now 9 years since the plants have been planted. It's the same species on both the east side and the west side, but the different climatic microclimates, the prevailing wind, the late day sun versus early morning, has evolved differently. It's a changing landscape. Some years certain species die out or certain patches die out, and then there's an understory of other species that fill in. It's been very interesting to observe for that reason.
Construction of the eco-roof began in 2005. Plots were seeded with winter wheat to stabilize the soil media for overwintering. Project research focused at first on plant species performance relative to substrate depth and type. A second investigation into stormwater performance followed, and thermal performance is now being studied. Stormwater research consisted of 3 4-foot by 8-foot plots comparing a control against the performance of 2 commercial growing media which were planted with 3 types of native grasses. Water quality and quantity parameters were measured. Significant leaching of nutrients and total suspended solids varied in timing but did occur in both media. Water quantity attenuation was excellent, reducing runoff volume by about 60% in the wettest month of June and more in other months. Aside from leaching from media, the control roof also had nutrient concentrations exceeding the Bow River water quality objectives. This suggests that measures are urgently required to not only control leaching in media where green roofs are implemented, but to address reduced water quality from roof runoff where green roofs are not implemented, likely through on-the-ground measures such as rain gardens.
With a green roof, we did the research project, and the water runoff profile is not this, it's like that. So that has a huge impact on the infrastructure that a city needs in order to manage its water. It's also much cooler when it comes off the roof, which has an impact on the environment. Our new and current project, which Carrie is running, is thermal transfer through the green roof. You know, my understanding is during the winter it's more insulation value, but during the summer, obviously, the vegetation transpires water, which will be has a cooling effect. So Carrie's running a research project to say, so what are the numbers as far as that? I mean, the irony is we live in a winter climate, but we spend more money cooling our building than we do heating it. So there can be some real payoffs on that.
This project shows that green roofs are indeed viable in the Chinook zone, and we are not limited to sedums. The site continues to serve as a learning hub and lab, and will for the foreseeable future.